Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm playing the next set in 20 Strong based on one of my favorite chip theory games of all time, Cloudspire. And disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our weekly podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So if you haven't seen the original game of Cloudspire, which we've covered several times on the channel, it is basically a tower defense game, sort of MOBA-ish, with heroes and lane defense and all that kind of stuff. And they are trying to model that in the 20 Strong dice-based combat formula. And I think they've done a lot of stuff great, and some stuff I'm not so sure about. So we're going to play through, and then I'll do a review at the end. And in the game, they have 9 different factions, which I believe models all the factions currently available for the game. I've not gotten the most recent expansion that had the, I forget what they're called, the Shade and the Reef Keef, something like that. But I have played all the other ones, and actually I'm not using, I randomized, but I'm not using any of those newest factions in this playthrough. But as a player, what you're going to do is you can pick one hero. These could be general heroes, although that seems a little silly. In this case, I picked the Uprising hero. There is one per faction. Then you get all the cards keyed to your faction, which are 6. Each faction has one mini hero, which you'll see this has text on this side. By the way, every card is double-sided with an enemy and an ally side, so tons of variety here. But yes, each faction has a mini hero. They have some other cards, generally some spires. In the case of the Uprising, they've got 4 spires, 2 of 2 types, and often some equipment as well that you can have in your inventory. 2 of the spires called out by your leader, in this case both copies of the Rubble Rouser, are going to start out in play. We'll get to that in a second, but I take the other 4 cards for that faction, as well as all 6 cards, mini hero, and 5 other equipment and spire cards for 2 other factions. You are allowed to pick, but I've been finding the game a little bit easy, so I randomized. So I did the Horizons, Wrath, and the Grige. I'm going to take all of those people together, again, except for my hero and those 2 specific spires. That's my market deck. I'll be drawing from that in a moment, but first let's set up our enemies. So similar to my side, the enemies are going to get one boss chosen at random. I got the Heirs boss. They're going to take the 6 cards corresponding to that faction, 2 more random factions. Those will all get shuffled together. Now, the way to add difficulty to the game is to include extra mini bosses. And I have not lost the game yet. We'll talk about that in the review. So I wanted this to be hopefully a bit more exciting. So I'm playing at the highest difficulty possible, which I've never done with any 20 Strong game. Maybe I've overcommitted. We'll see what happens. But yes, I'm adding in 3 more mini bosses. So this entire giant stack is going to become the deployment stack. But the enemy hero stays separate because they're going to have an ongoing effect during the game. They only spawn when all the rest of these guys have come out. In the case of the Heirs boss, they have the ability that red crits are misses. You can use the little chip to remind yourself of that, although you don't really need to. They just wanted to get that chip in there somehow. And then that little triangle symbol is only when they are actually spawned. That's an activation effect. So when they first get activated, they exhaust all dice currently applied to enemies, so heal everybody. And while they are active, every active enemy, including themselves, has +2 health. So they really have 10 health and 2 damage. So yeah, like I said, I could use the chip to remind me that red crits are misses, but whatever. Now, technically, you're supposed to set up all the stuff to be coming vertically. For filming purposes, I'm going to set it up horizontally instead. But you put that deployment stack here. You can see what the top enemy is, in this case, a dispatch from the Braunen faction. You put your hero at the other end with 3 spots in between. And each of those spots has an adjacent space for spires to be going. So if you've seen Cloudspire, or seen any MOBA or lane-based combat game, imagine the enemies are walking towards your base, and you can shoot them as they come along. Now I get to place my Rubble Rousers, those starting spires. They can fire a red or a green. You'll see how that works. The combat's quite a bit different in this one compared to other 20 Strong games. And since there's only one red die to go around, and it's weakened now by their boss, I'm going to... Actually, you know what? Let's even go like that, I think. You'll see why this might be a good strategic move. But yes, I'm putting my spires in one of these 6 spots adjacent to the 3 spots the enemies can advance through. Okay, then finally, to finish up setup, I look at my strategy rating, which for Netherut is 3, and I draw 3 cards from my market stack to be in my initial inventory, just like the inventory of items in other 20 Strong games. And in this case, I got 1 of each type of thing. So I've got spires and equipment. These will actually use up space in my inventory. Equipment card is just like items in other 20 Strong games. So like this one gives me a single use to do something cool. Spires get placed out where my other spires are, but they still still take up space in your max inventory. So right now I have 2 of my 3 inventory spots filled. Why only 2? Because mini heroes are these cards that can give you really cool abilities, and then they go on top of the spawn deck, of the deployment deck, and basically give you a little turn of reprieve when too many guys are coming out. And they also do not take up space in your inventory. So right now I have 2 out of 3 spaces of my inventory filled, but this one is not doing anything. All right, so with that, let's go into the game and show you how the rounds run, and I'll also talk you through each of these special abilities of people as they come out. So first we have the activation phase. We can cycle enemies optionally, and then we advance enemies. So cycling enemies lets you take whoever's on top of the deployment stack and move them to the bottom of the stack. And you do have to survive through and fight through the entire stack to get to the enemy boss. And what the cost is for that is you have to exhaust 1 die from your dice pool. By the way, I should put out my dice, shouldn't I? All right, there we go, zooming out a bit more. So yes, I can exhaust dice as many times as I like to take the top card to the bottom. Now, Netherut, the Uprising's hero, has 3 health, 3 strategy, only 1 recover. That part sucks. And he's got the Lookout ability. The first time you cycle an enemy each round, do not exhaust a die. He also has a blue die showing there. And you'll notice my 2 Rubble Rousers have red and greens, because what's going to happen is I'll roll my dice like in regular 20 strong, but to actually attack people, I have to load them onto my Spires, and then the Spires can attack people that are orthogonally adjacent. But yeah, so you can cycle enemies. I actually don't want to because the dispatch is not a big deal. He's pretty fine to fight. Then we have the advance enemies phase. So what happens is if there were enemies already in the lanes, they would move 1 forward because my Spires can only attack people that are orthogonally adjacent. So like this Spire can attack somebody here, this Spire can attack somebody here, and same thing for the enemies. They'll attack Spires that are next to them, or if they're down here, they'll attack Spires and or your hero. Now, in this case, the dispatch comes out and is activated. If he had any of those little triangle symbols, like on the boss, you would resolve that effect now just once when they first come out. But that's it for the advance enemies phase. Okay, now we get into the engagement phase, and a lot of this is going to look normal. So you have a strategy phase. First, you can place Spires from your inventory, put them out in those 6 spots. Then you get to commit dice, roll them, and apply them, but you're applying them to the Spires instead of actually hitting the enemies. Then after you've done however many strategy phases you want to do, based on your strategy stat, then you have the Spires fire phase where those Spires attack. Then you do kind of the regular stuff, suffering damage, after effects, exhausting dice, recovering, getting items, and cleanup. But to show that in action, so I'm rolling dice and I'm loading them onto my Spires as I roll hits and crits and misses, and also potentially on my hero. Then in the Spires fire phase, they get to attack the people that are next to them. Enemies will attack Spires. You'll see how that works when it comes up. And then very importantly, enemy cards don't go away. They actually will just move down. And also damage does not go away. So your dice hang around and bring the enemies closer to defeat based on the Spires hitting them until they're eventually destroyed. All right, so that's a wide view of things. Now there is a special action you can take at any time, and I am going to do it because I know these factions and I want to have the best chance to win on the highest difficulty. I'm going to banish one of my yellow dice entirely from the game. Worst die in the game, so why wouldn't I? And that lets me dig through my market stack and get any Spire I want. And I'm getting one that I find slightly broken. There are a lot of things like this in the game, called a gunboat. And anytime you gain a Spire, you can either put it in your inventory. I do have space for it since the mini here is not actually taking up a spot, or immediately deploy it. So I am going to put it back here. When I go through the powers of all these things, you'll see why. And then I do shuffle my market stack after doing that. All right, with all that preamble, let's get into special powers and what I'm going to do this turn. So the dispatch, as long as he's alive, says in the suffer damage step, this enemy is considered to be adjacent to your hero. So he can do his 1 damage straight to my hero if I want him to. And then if I defeat him, I get an item that lets me get 2 Spires of my choice from the discard pile, which is going to be ones that were usually destroyed by enemies. My 2 Rubble Rousers can hold a green and a red die, which is awesome, except not as good with the boss's power, making the red weaker. It says at the start of each Spire's fire phase, you may re-roll any of the dice loaded onto the Spire once. And finally, the gunboat I added, why did I want it? It says in the Spire's fire phase, this Spire can only apply loaded dice to non-adjacent enemies rather than adjacent ones. Because one of the most challenging things in the game, when you're not using cheats like digging for a gunboat, is getting enough damage on the enemies before they get too far into your line and destroy your Spire. So I can fire a purple and green at our buddy the Dispatch over here. All right, so I've got 3 strategy. I could place out my other cards. Let's show you what's in my inventory. Our proximity mines say place in an empty lane position. When a non-boss enemy or a stack including a non-boss enemy occupies its position, discard this card and defeat that enemy or the topmost non-boss enemy in the stack. So just a straight up kill. And Rebuilt Ruins say after the suffered damage step, if this Spire is defeated, you may immediately exhaust 1 die from your dice pool to undefeat it. And I could put that up here to just have some more damage to do. I might do that. Let me think about it. And finally, my mini hero, Mistbane. Swashbuckler. At any time, search the market stack for any number of spires. Oh, I guess I should have done that instead of exhausting the thing. Well, whatever. I don't want to use them yet. And or equipment to add to your inventory up to your strategy stat. Then he goes on the deployment stack, and the next time an enemy would deploy, he gets banished instead, which is the effect for every mini hero. They all buy you a turn of not spawning. Yeah, I could have used him to get the gunboat, but it's okay. And, I mean, sure, I guess I'll put the rebuilt ruins out here. All right, so let's go ahead and attack. So I'm going to commit. I got to do 4 damage. You want to kill guys whenever you can, because otherwise they'll blow up your stuff, obviously. So I'll do that, and I guess a green and a purple. I only have 1 recover right now. That's the big negative here. But otherwise, this might be okay. So this is my first roll dice step. Oh my gosh, that was an amazing roll. So no reason not to load this up, because as I'll talk about in a second, dice do stick around. We'll certainly put that there. We can put this here. Now, that was only 1 strategy. Let's go for some more good stuff. Because I can load up other towers, other spires, to use later. All right, so roll number 2 is, okay, nothing special. I'm really just looking for crits here. Or I guess hits on the yellow would also be good. And roll number 3, oh my gosh. Okay, do I want to load this up there? I mean, sure, well, I'll just exhaust it, so why waste it? Okay, so I have applied dice to all of the spires that I wanted to use here. So now I go into the Spire's Fire phase, and I could use the Rubble Rouser's ability to reroll. Oh, I guess, should I load this there? Yeah, you know what? Actually, let's say that I loaded this there, because I could reroll any of the dice loaded here. Clearly, I like these, because I don't want the red to be a crit, so it becomes a miss, and the green's as good as it gets. But that'll give me a free extra roll on the green die, and it's a miss. But now Spire's Fire. So I'm going to do, because I want to keep my best dice for this next person coming, 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, right? The yellow crits are the most unusual result here. Might as well keep them around. So this guy gets destroyed. We'll just tilt him a little bit. He does not have an immediate effect. His thing about being next to me is no longer active. So now we go to suffering damage. Now let's talk about how this would have worked if he had not been dead. So he would be dealing 1 damage. Now his special power lets him attack my hero, but let's pretend that's not the case. He could attack either spire. So 1 damage to a spire blows it up. Goes to your discard pile. Unless you have something like the Dispatch's item ability, you can't get it back. But you can also tank damage with misses on spires. That's why the rebuilt ruins is kind of on purpose using yellows, because you're supposed to miss with it if you don't roll like I did. So each miss can tank 1 damage as well. And then also if they're adjacent to your hero, each damage can do 1 heart damage to you. But he's dead, so none of that is happening. There we go. Okay, next is the after effects step. There aren't any. Then I exhaust dice. If dice are on a enemy that's not defeated yet, again, they stay on them. If they're on a tower, they can stay on them or not. Your choice. I'm not going to have this green stay there, but all of these go over here to the exhausted area. Then I recover dice. I guess I'll get back my red, even though I can't crit with it. It's still consistent for my Rubble Rouser here. Then I gain item rewards, so I get the Dispatches thing to let me get up to 2 spires of my choice from the discard. That brings my inventory to 2 out of 3. And then finally, in the cleanup step, any destroyed spires, any still destroyed enemies that weren't already taken as items, they would all get discarded to a communal discard pile. And going into round 2, this mini-boss is on top of the deck, and they've got a plus skull ability, which works differently in this version of the game. Let me talk about it. Well, first to talk about them, they've got 5 life, 3 attack, and they do count as a boss for any effects that say they don't affect bosses and that kind of thing. Their power says in the suffer damage step, if your hero suffers damage, you must also discard an item from your inventory. And when you defeat them, you immediately draw 4 cards from their market stack, keeping 2. You put the other 2 on the bottom of the deck, and then you get plus 2 health. But yeah, how the plus enemy step works. And you know what? I can kill this guy pretty easily with Rebuilt Ruins, so I'm not even going to use my cycling ability on him. But yes, how the plus skull ability works. So we're doing cycle enemies. I'm not. Then we're doing advanced enemies. When he advances, when he first activates... Oh, crud. Okay, this could be interesting. You look and see if the next person is not a mini-boss. If it is a mini-boss, the plus skull is ignored. But if it's not a mini-boss, then this dude goes underneath them, kind of like if you've seen Cloudspire, these stacks of chips where the bottom chips are not eligible for damage. And those people don't exist. They can't be attacked. Nothing can be done to them. until the person on top gets defeated. Now, the nice thing is, though, that the person on top doesn't go away, of course, until the gain items or cleanup steps. So the person below will not attack on the turn the person on top of them is defeated. Now, in this case, this is fun. The Harrier, who has 2 life and 1 attack value, also has a plus skull. Also, only crits can be applied to him, and he immediately gives me plus 2 health or recovers 3 dice from me. Since he also has a plus 1 skull, I do it again, and you can just keep on chaining it and potentially have a giant stack. So I've got another dispatch underneath. Yikes. Yeah, nobody's giving me plus recover or strategy yet, which is really the best things I could get. So with that in mind, I'm going to put my proximity mine equipment out. I can't kill the grafted Chira, but when the other 2 guys move up, and it'll defeat the topmost non-boss enemy, that bird that can only be killed by crits, since I won't be able to shoot him with rebuilt ruins anymore. Seems like that'll work out pretty well. All right, so I only need a single die of more damage here. But hey, let's go ahead and try to get some extra stuff on the gunboat or whatever. We'll see how it goes. So we are going in, roll 1. Nothing. I mean, you really want to go for crits, in my experience. I can pretty confidently, especially with the Rubble Rouser's reroll ability, get stuff back. Roll 2, still no crits. Whatever. Oh, wait, hold on. The red can go there. We don't want to crit with that. And roll 3. Oh, that sucked. Okay. Well, let's put that on the Rubble Rouser, because I can get a free reroll with its ability. We'll see what happens there. But not much point in putting this on the gunboats. We'll just hang out with that one. Okay, so Spire's Fire. We get a free... Jeez, not rolling great, am I? But yes, we do defeat this guy, which means we immediately draw 4 cards from the market stack. And we also go up plus 2 health to 5. And I do need some Spires to go right here, because there's about to be some enemies there. So let's see our options. The Grige have Toxic Fumes. After each activation, automatically apply a die of your choosing from the exhausted area, set to a hit to an enemy adjacent to this Spire. Pretty awesome. Like, it can't do 2 damage, or even more than 2 with crits, like some Spires, but it's consistent and doesn't mess with your exhaustion. Got a Shadow Skiff. After each activation, you may swap the position of this Spire and another active Spire. If you do, you may load a blue or yellow from the exhausted area set to a miss onto this Spire. So you can just go and like tank damage, because remember, misses are blocks basically. Now I got the Grige mini hero Okjab. Skip the suffer damage step of a round. That is ridiculous. So nothing gets destroyed when you're really in a bad way, and then he blocks up the deployment stack as usual. And finally, no need to freeze frame on this, just a rebuilt ruins. I'm thinking maybe I want to destroy stuff, not block it. I think I'm going to take Toxic Fumes and Okjab. Never mind. I guess I will take the Shadow Skiff and Toxic Fumes just to have some extra attack options here. So these 2 go on the bottom of the deck. And these would put my inventory to 3, which I'm allowed to have. But remember, whenever you get Spires, you can immediately place them. So I will do that in this case, and I am full up. As far as I understand, you cannot purposefully discard Spires. So you can't, like, just replace them. You have to let them get destroyed, which, will kind of suck if I get, for example, a second gunboat that I would want to put there, but the Rubble Rouser's in the way. We'll deal with that when we get to it. Besides that, everything's pretty basic here. Of course, exhausting these. I guess I don't need to exhaust that. Is it better? Yeah, no, I won't exhaust that because it might do something. Although the next guy does have a lot of health, so maybe I should. Okay, then I get to recover. A little bit of a bad way with dice, which often happens unless you get some recovery boosting enemies. And then clean up. This guy goes away, but again, the Harrier and their friend underneath are just hanging out. All right, now I could cycle for free the Aegis, because they have tons of life, and I'm going to be a bit distracted this turn with multiple enemies coming through, but there might be something nastier underneath. But yeah, let's go ahead and cycle him down. Okay, we got a Joust from the Heirs instead. That one will be easier to deal with. So I'm not going to exhaust any dice to cycle anymore. All right, so they activate by moving down here. The Harriers get destroyed, and I can either get plus 2 health or recover 3 dice. That's not a hard choice. Let's get back a yellow, because I want to have 2 for the rebuilt ruins. Oh man, I really need yellows. I guess 2 yellows, and I need more greens than purples, although I've got a green here. Okay, I'll get a purple back as well. And the proximity mine is gone, but the dispatch is still there. Then the Joust comes out. 4 life, 1 damage. He deals his damage before the Spire's fire phase, but he only deals 1 damage, so I can just block it pretty easily. And then his item is before the suffer damage step, swap the position of any 2 enemies, which is decent. Nothing too amazing, honestly. Ooh, there's a really tough enemy coming, but they can give me more strategy or more recover, which definitely recover is the big thing I need right now. All right. When after each activation, automatically apply a die of your choosing to an enemy next to this. So he's down to 3 life. All right, so I definitely want to do all 3 yellows. Who knew that I needed yellows so much when I did this originally? And my red, and a blue, and a purple, and a green. It's kind of overkill, but don't forget, I can always load stuff up for later if I roll well. And here, there's more dice now. Let's bring our rolling thing in. Oh, let's definitely keep one of those. Although I kind of want to miss to block the damage on this guy. So, okay, we've already got at least 3 damage, potentially 4 for the joust. I mean, nothing else is like a must. Well, you know what? It's pretty unlikely to roll hits on yellow, so I'll keep that one. But I'll reroll the rest of these for my second roll. And, ooh, my gosh. Okay, where do these even go? I mean, the gunboat, of course. And then, oh, I can use the green to block, and then I can defeat this guy pretty easily. Okay, so my final third roll, might as well reroll these. Oh, shoot. Am I not going to kill the dispatch? No, I can still kill the dispatch, but it was closer than it should have been. I mean, I'll be exhausting those in a second, I'm sure, but okay. So we could get a free reroll here. No reason to, because I want to block the joust's automatic attack. So yeah, he attacks. We exhaust that to block it. Then we go to Spire's Fire. It should be 4 damage for him, so he's gone. And 4 damage for him, so he's gone. But yeah, I mean, none of them are going to help very much here with my lack of recovery, which is good. Like I said, the game's been too easy for me. So yeah, like pretty much nothing is happening. All this stuff is getting exhausted. That is a lot of stuff. There's no real need to leave these out. I might as well leave that there. It doesn't matter. And then, what do I recover? I cannot recover enough yellows to deal with stuff. And the Forsaken's definitely going to take almost certainly 2 rounds to defeat. So let's get 1 yellow. Oh, then I'll have no green. Ooh, I put myself in a bad way here. Yay, I'm glad things are already going tougher than they have been in other games. And then I can hold both of these, whether that's good or not. Because again, Mistbane is not using up one of my 3 inventory slots. And lets me search for spires and or equipment, although right now I don't have any space for them because of my strategy, so we're not going to worry about that. All right, going into another round. So the Forsaken comes down. He immediately does 1 damage to me. By the way, I didn't want to cycle him because I want his upgrades. But yeah, he knocks me down to 4 life. Oh, and the Royal Talon is also going to upgrade me, although he banishes a die if I kill him. I mean, it's not a big deal if the Forsaken hits me, because I can just use one of my dispatches to get the spires that he destroys right back. I just want to hit him is the key thing. So I guess like Gunboat and Rebuilt Ruins are the way to go here. I don't think I need to roll anything else besides that. It's still putting me in a deficit for the moment for recovery. So, oh, no, I guess we don't need to roll the red. That's already there. So here we go. So 1 roll. Oh, that was a good start. Hey, if I get another crit, I can kill him. And 2 rolls. Nope. And 3 roll. What the? Okay. We'll take it. Whatever. So, oh, that's right. When this enemy is defeated, discard 1 card from your inventory. Honestly, I think the Joust is the least useful, switching 2 enemies. I don't even want to have 2 enemies out when I can help it. And then I immediately get to absolutely increase my recovery. Strategy is incredibly important in this mode, you can see, to get crits and like better hits out of your limited die rolls. But I need to get my recovery stat up immediately or I am dead. In a lot of games I use, when I pick my other factions, the Grove Tender faction, because they have a spire that gives you +1 recovery while it's out, which drastically increases your survivability very quickly. But not using that this game. All right, so these come off. I definitely need, red and yellow again, right? Oh, and I also get to draw 2 cards from the market stack and keep 1. And I've got Usul, the Uprising mini hero. It says, before the suffer damage step, load 1 die from the exhausted area onto each active spire set to a miss. So it just lets you block damage. Not as good as the other guy who just straight up skips the suffer damage step. Well, it's got a Hive Spire, can take any type of die. In the suffer damage step, the spire is considered to be adjacent to all active spires. In the exhaust dice step, all dice loaded on the spire are exhausted, so it's very flexible for attacking. It can also suffer damage and tank for other people, but you can't keep dice on it. That is good, but I have no room for it, so let's get another mini hero and not clog up my inventory. All right, then this guy is gone. Gosh, still need more recovery. All right, I'm not going to get rid of the Royal Talon. even though he's really rough, because I just want more recovery. So he's going to do another damage to me automatically. When he's defeated, I have to banish one die with a crit applied to him, which is clearly what I want to do to get 6 damage on him. But his bonus is the same as the other guy. And I'm down to 3 life, so that part's fine. Yeah, okay. We'll see what we can do. I'm thinking I might end up using Usul to block some damage and defeat this guy over a couple rounds, and then that'll block this guy from coming out for a while. We'll see how it goes. All right, so we'll do, I guess, red, yellow, purple, right? To try to get some damage on him in the ways that I can. I just have so few dice at the moment. Okay, the red's fine. Do I want a crit? Because the crit would then get banished. I kind of want to defeat him with 6 regular dice. So let's do that and keep this, I guess. So second roll will go. Got another miss. And third roll, well, that's something. All right, so I will apply that damage to him. And then I think I'm going to use Usul. So it says before the suffer damage step, load 1 die from the exhausted area onto each active spire, set to a miss. I mean, it's each of them. It doesn't really matter that much. I'll just do like that one and that one. It doesn't matter. And then he's attacking for 2. So we'll just like tank those 2. And then we're going to exhaust that one anyway, because I don't want to have more misses on things. And then he will stop that next activation from happening. But I still get 2 things back. I need blue. Oh, shoot. I have blues already. So let's get yellow and green. Or I guess yellow and purple is better, isn't it? Because that will let me do like maximum possible. Oh, no. Purple and green is best. There we go. Because that way the gunboat can fire on him in 2 different ways. All right, so we are moving the Royal Talon up. Usul goes away. Tell me of your homeworld, Usul. Yes, I know it's Usul, but I don't know. Oh, Toxic Fumes activate. So which one do I use the least? Blue I use the least. So whoop-pow. So he's at 3 now, so I just got to hit him 3 more times. That's not too hard. I mean, like, in theory. So we're doing these 3, right? Bam, bam, bam. Do, I hope you die. Oh, that was, wow. Wait, I don't want crits. Gosh darn it. I don't, I mean, yeah, it's purple crits wouldn't be the worst. I only have the gunboat. And then I can keep the green. Or the green, oh no, I have 3 green spots right now and only 1 purple spot. Yeah, okay. So, you know what, actually, in that case, no, I don't want to reroll the blue, do I? Yes, I'm not going to reroll anything. That's all fine. So, Spire's fire. I will shoot the purple at this guy and this blue, but I'll keep the green for later because that's lovely. Which means this guy is defeated, but I have to banish another die. I'm down a purple and a yellow now. But I get definitely a 3rd recover. I do want to increase my strategy at some point, but not yet. Okay, and then I draw 2 cards from the market and keep 1, which is, another Shadow Skiff or Toxic Fume. That's right, I forgot about the Shadow Skiff's ability to switch around, which might be good when I have, like, different colors available. I guess I'll go for the Skiff. That does fill up my inventory again, by the way. All right, these all go away. I get 3 dice back. So I guess I want red, green, yellow, right? For the spires that can attack immediately. Oh, I don't have any purple. So let's forget the yellow and get a purple. All right, so there's a mini-boss on top, Grafted Rhyme. I don't really want to deal with that right now. So let's use my free cycle. Oh, and there's another mini-boss. Well, that actually kind of sucks because the first mini-boss would not have had their skull activate because it can't activate for mini-bosses. Well, this guy isn't too bad. I mean, he's got 6 life and 3 attack. Never mind, he's terrible. But he says after each Spire's fire phase, exhausted die apply to this enemy. Oh, so I got to kill him in one go or he'll heal 1. Well, so it goes. I'm not going to exhaust any more dice because that'd be terrible. And he's got a War Briar underneath him. After each activation, exhaust 1 die loaded onto any 1 Spire. And apply 1 die from the exhausted area to each active enemy set to a thing. Oh, I guess that kind of helps. Because if he's here when I kill him next turn, if I can take out Osh this turn, then he'll hurt the joust for free. All right, that's cool. So can I defeat Osh? That's the real question. So I want to roll red, green, purple. That's literally all that can help. I mean, I could roll blues to try to get the Shadow Skiff. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's, after activation, swap the positions of these spires, because then I can hurt them more, can't I? That seems smart. Okay, roll 1. That's great. I'm really glad I did that now. Whoops, that was not a crit. So that was 1. I guess we can load that up. Roll 2. So that is enough, right? 2, 4, 5, 6. So should I go for another roll to maybe get another crit and save stuff? I mean, sure, right? The chance of like neither of them hitting is pretty... Oh, there we go. That was definitely better. And I'll put that there. Then at the start of the Spire's fire phase, actually I'm going to roll this just in case it becomes a crit. What the... All right. I mean, I can't really say the game's unbalanced when I just roll crazy. So I definitely want to use the things that are immediately here, and the purple is more consistently good, so I'll do that again. All right, so he's defeated. I go back to 5 life, and I get 4 cards, keep 2, although I've got no room, so I'm going to have to trash some stuff. Okay, I got my climbing gear, and each recovered dice step, you may swap any number of dice from your dice pool with the same number of dice in the exhausted area, as long as that's in my inventory. That's pretty cool. Got another gunboat, another hive. I mean, another gunboat would be great if I could get rid of that rubble rouser. And I got a portable waygate. Place this equipment in an available spire location and treat it as a spire. When it's defeated, discard all adjacent non-boss enemies, including those stacked under other enemies. It's pretty dang good. Although it does discard them instead of actually giving you anything. So yeah, anything I keep, I need to get rid of because these were no mini heroes. I mean, I think out of these, the portable waygate would be awesome. Yeah, I guess I'll get the portable waygate and the gunboat. And then, what do I want to keep? I mean, I like gunboat a lot more than the shadow skiff. I don't really need the dispatch because nobody's hurting me. What if I could just get rid of both dispatches? I do want to increase my strategy at some point. But for now, we're doing fine. I actually wouldn't mind if some spires die because then I could put other stuff in their place. All right, we're getting, that's right, 3 recovery. So this guy's gone. That guy's going to be there. So what do I need? I need yellows and blues, although the shadow skiff could swap with somebody. Ooh, I just realized I could like do something wacky where I put the gunboat out and then like use the shadow skiff to move it around if I get something killed. But for now, we're not going to worry about that. Yeah, so I guess I got a blue. I definitely want a green. I definitely want a purple. And then maybe a yellow. That seems like it gives me some nice mix of things. All right, Warbriar advances, and he does exhaust 1 die loaded onto any 1 spire. Definitely not my crit. That could shoot anybody. We'll get rid of my red, which is annoying. Don't get me wrong. Okay, and then the Joust comes in, which is the guy who shoots before anybody does anything. I could have cycled, but actually this guy's fine. Well, is he fine? Hold on. I didn't look what the other guy was, because he's not giving me any, like, recovery of dice. Give me an item I don't want. So you know what? Now I'm going to cycle him. And what's this? Taproot. Okay, there we go. That's much better. He lets me recover 3 dice. What's his ability? Okay, discard this enemy and exhaust all dice applied to it. Then search the discard for a defeated Warbriar and add it to the top of this enemy's enemy stack. No, I don't have any defeat. Oh, shoot. I was going to defeat that guy first. But now if I defeat him first, then, yeah, I guess I'd just discard him. Because after effects happen before gaining items. Well, there goes my hope of recovering 3 dice. I'm kind of confused by that, but whatever. All right, so Toxic Fumes does let me plink the Warbriar, but I want to kill the Taproot first, but I've got that, which should make that not too hard. See, I guess I'm rolling all of these, right? Maybe? Sure. Okay. Oop, got another crit. My gunboat is putting in awesome work here. So that was 1. So we already got enough to kill the Taproot. So we really need like to hit from these other things a little better. This is 2. Okay, we did get a hit on a yellow. But I guess we should do this one because that's going to have to come from elsewhere. Okay, and then finally 3. Okay, we got basic hits. Is this going to be enough? Yeah, I think so, right? So we'll do that and one of those. And that. Okay, so discard this enemy. Well, I guess not yet, right? Oh, it doesn't matter what order I defeat them in because he's not going to be in the discard pile yet until the cleanup step. Which means actually I don't need to hit with, I guess that one's the less good one, and I can get a free reroll on it because I can defeat this guy, which immediately says apply 1 die from the exhausted area to each active enemy set to a hit. Let's do a blue because we don't use those much. And then that defeats him. You know, I'm going to make an executive decision here because there are so many enemies with this effect. Immediately gain 2 health or recover 3 dice. And the Taproot, from my understanding, can never become an item. So I think that has to be a misprint. So I think I do get to recover 3 dice immediately. Right? Like, it doesn't make any friggin' sense otherwise. So I guess I'll get these 3. I mean, yes, that does help me out, but I'm 99% sure that's got to be what the intent was. All right, his effect doesn't do anything. I mean, he does get discarded, of course, but there's no Warbriar in the discard pile to bring back. And then this guy goes away in the cleanup step. Oh, and that's right, I am getting 3 dice back. So the Warbriar is pretty easy. Oh, except he is going to exhaust a die, but whatever. So I already have a red back. I need a blue. I guess like some more, purple or green. That was 2. And yeah, maybe another yellow. There we go. All right, do I care about the Warbriar? Should I cycle him because I'm doing kind of okay right now? It's just annoying that he's going to exhaust a die. That's really the only thing that's bothering me. Yeah, fine. He can come out and just die in a second. Okay, so he can exhaust the green die. And then I'll roll red, green, blue, and I guess purple too, and we'll just kind of see what pans out. Hopefully we can load some for later. All right, oop, love that. That's fine. I guess I'll roll these a couple more times, see if I can get some crits. Roll 2, no. Yeah, let's lock that in. And then roll 3. Okay, we'll put this here to get a reroll with it. So yeah, before Spire's Fire, I will go ahead, nope. And then we'll do the red's fine, right? So 1, I don't want to use that. 2, 3. Okay, we apply 1 die from the exhausted area to each active enemy. Nope. Then these go away, and I'm getting 3 dice back. So I need blue. I got yellows. I need greens. And let's get another green to go there and there. All right, next up is Grafted Diamond, who weirdly does not have a plus skull. Is that a misprint too? Because he's not even good. In the suffer damage step, this enemy is considered to be adjacent to your hero. I mean, I guess that's not that. But here's the thing. You always get to choose if you apply damage to your hero or Spire, so it's not like that's some negative thing. I don't really understand why that's even a power. It kind of, in a way, helps you because you can put excess damage on your hero. Because, yeah, you can freely choose who they target. I don't know. Whatever. But, yeah, he doesn't seem that bad. So, although I don't have any room for anything in the market. So, he might be, like, kind of a nice, easier guy to deal with. Yeah, I am going to put him down, actually. Oh, okay. We got a Harrier. So, remember, these are the guys that can only be killed by crits. Ooh, and we got a Taproot who is going to pull one of those defeated Warbriars. All right, that's fine. So, I've got the Gunboat to destroy the Harrier. So, this could just be, and I'm going to recover a bunch of dice from him too. This is actually pretty lovely. Yeah, so I'm going to, should I use my 3 rolls to try to get a good green on the Gunboat? Sure, why not? So here we go. 1, 2, this is going great. 3, let's put it here, use the free reroll from the Rabble Rouser. Okay, there we go. Hey, so we can keep that on the Gunboat. Take that, Harrier. All right, I get to recover 3 dice immediately, which will be, 1, 2, 3 maybe? Oh, and yep, so he goes away. Yeah, so you can see what I mean. Like, the Aegis has the same thing. I think every single faction, every faction has one enemy type that gives that bonus, and has one enemy type that gives that bonus. So this has to be a misprint. I don't know if I haven't looked like for official announcements, but it must be. All right, so the Taproot comes, well, hold on. Do I want to, the Aegis is vaguely annoying. Oh, but he gets me recovery. Never mind, he's fine. All right, so come down. We got lots of recovery coming. Oh, we got another mini hero. You know, I'm realizing if I always use my free cycle to put the mini heroes on the bottom of the deck, then none of them would ever get their plus enemy thing, and they would be a lot less annoying. I might do that. All right, but anyway, we're fighting this dude. So we want blue, yellow. Oh, I didn't get enough greens? That was stupid. All right. Oh, we get Toxic Fume. So speaking of, actually, let's do a blue hit for free on them. Oh, and I can do more yellows to use the rebuilt ruins, potentially. All right, let's see how this goes. Where's my roll-in thing for more dice? Okay, I got a yellow crit, which I want to beware. I think on the Aegis, because he exhausts dice that are applied to him after activation if he hasn't died yet. And then the regular yellow hit, I'll also take. The rest of these I can reroll. So that was 1. Next is, oh, nice. Put that there. That's 2. And then finally 3. Okay, so we'll do it like that. And now what's shooting where? So, 1, 2. Oh, I did this kind of weird, didn't I? I guess we'll do that. So he's defeated. And I can immediately recover 3 dice. I'm actually not going to have enough dice to recover because these don't go away yet. Then I'll do 2, 3 more to this guy. So he's defeated. We'll recover our other 2. Okay, then after effects. So this guy goes away, and a Warbriar comes out, but it is after attacks would have already happened. And then these go away. I do get 3 more dice back. Let's get both my yellows and I guess greens. All right, looking kind of okay. So yeah, I will cycle. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I guess I should have left him again. I didn't know that the bosses were already like one on top of the other. I could afford to cycle dice or like exhaust dice now. So yeah, so I'll exhaust a blue to cycle again. Oh, and it's another guy that can give me plus recover or strategy. Beautiful. All right, so after each activation, exhaust 1 die loaded onto any 1 spire. And yeah, this guy's activating. It's technically that guy coming off the deck is the activation, not him just existing. Oh, I wonder if there were more activations. Well, anyway, I left the yellow here just for that. I do pop down to 4 because of the grizzled oak. Oh, and this enemy's defeated to banish a die applied to it. That sucks. But we should be fine otherwise. Wait, did I get any blue? What is wrong with me? I'm like recovering dice in the dumbest way possible. I didn't get a blue for the shadow skiff. Oh, well, after each activation, let's swap it with, not the gunboat. Could put the toxic fumes in there. I guess rebuilt ruins might be my best option here. Okay, so I want 3 greens, because lots of green options. Purple for the gunboat, 2 yellows for the rebuilt ruins. I think that's all I can do at the moment. See how this goes. Although he's going to do damage, so I might be overkill in here. Whoa! Wow. That was a counter to my nice crit rolling this game. Number 2. What? Oh my gosh. I don't know. Okay, roll number 3. Wow. Oh, okay. Well, we can take some damage, I guess. I mean, this is cool. It's gonna like actually make the game suddenly become tense. So I can't kill the grizzled oak, can I? All right, so this might work in my favor because I can get the Warbriar to kill the rabble rouser. Oh, I forgot that I could have done blue dice for my hero. Oh well. And I can get the grizzled oak to kill something to make like the rebuilt ruins to make way for the portable waygate. Okay, so let's put a hit here because I do want to have that be the die that I banish, especially if I get rid of the rebuilt ruins. And then I can put like damage here and here. And then I can like tank a hit there, tank a hit there. Oh, wait, I'm gonna lose my Rebel Rouser, which I don't think I want to do. So let's do it like that. It is way more interesting than the game usually gets, just to be honest. All right. So we can do suffer damage, whatever. Oh, we got to apply damage first. So I guess I want to put this on the Grizzled Oak, right? Yeah, and that can go on the Warbriar. That's fine. Okay, and then apply damage. So this guy's doing 2 damage. 1 and 2. Get out of there. We'll fix that in a second. Then the Grizzled Oak is doing 1, 2, 3. We'll fix that in a second. All right, then I get to recover. So I think I'm going to use Mistbane just to buy me time while I kill all these guys. Although I don't know if I need to do that. I mean, the Aegis is, yeah, they're pretty easy to block for. So never mind. I don't need to use my guy yet. By the way, I'm not sure if I did it right. Yes, no, I did. The gunboat attacked that guy because the gunboat is not allowed to attack the Warbriar, which, is actually an annoyance if I was going to use the gunboat there. Yeah, it's going to be kind of a hassle. The Toxic Fume will almost kill the Grizzled Oak by itself. Anyway, I'm not sure. Let's get a little bit of everything back. That's 2. All right, the reds and all these things are gone. Maybe 3. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, so strategy phase, or not strategy phase, cycle enemies. Nope, I'm not going to cycle. Grizzled Oak moves up. This guy does not move up. Aegis comes out. After each activation, exhaust a die load on a spire, no. Exhaust a die on this enemy, no. I get a free hit from the Toxic Fumes. Sure, take that. And yeah, I'm going to put out the portable waygate here. So this guy will attack and just die straight up. And then I'm going to use the Shadow Skiff after the activation. Sorry, this would have been after the activation to do that. And then I'm going to put the gunboat here. I think this will work out. Because then next turn I can swap them back is my thought. All right, so I'm not going to do anything to the Aegis. He'll attack the portable waygate and die. I won't get the recovery from him, which is actually pretty annoying. But it should be okay. Because I've still got a mini hero to buy me some time if I need to. So what do I need to do here? I need to do a single damage to him. Gunboat can do that very easily. And I need to do 2 damage to the Warbriar, a blue from Netherite or the Shadow Skiff, and purple from the other gunboat. That's more than enough. So sure, let's just do this because I'm a little low on dice at the moment. So I guess that's fine. Well, no, I mean, we can go for a crit here, right? So 2, Okay, you know what? After the crazy dice last time, though, I don't need to go for a crit. I am fine with how things are. So, we are doing boom. Oh, I forgot that I don't need... Yeah, forgot that this guy's going to apply a die for the exhausted stack to both of them. I mean, that doesn't really matter. But okay, so yeah, I got to do this one because that gunboat can't attack him. So I apply 1 die from the exhausted area to each active enemy. Okay, so he's immediately defeated, and he's got 1. Okay, that means this guy dies. So I tap. I'm going to increase recovery one more time, even though I really want more strategy. So, oh, that's right. I got to banish a die. Another yellow goes. And I get to draw 2, keep 1. We're definitely going to keep Oak Jab from before. They can skip suffer damage an entire round. I've actually gotten through most of the cards in my market. All right, so that's it. Suffer damage. The Aegis tries to attack the portable waygate. He gets discarded, so I don't get any bonus from him. All right, then I exhaust a lot of dice. I only get 3 back. I guess I want, what, purple, green. Oh, I want lots of green. So red, green, and purple. There we go. And all right. All right, Grafted Rhyme is up, and I still think there might be some regular enemies left, so let's cycle him for free. And yes, okay, I was right. So the Joust, the one who attacks immediately, is coming up. And then it's got to be almost just heroes left, I think. All right, I'm going to place out the Shadow Skiff. And then all I've got left is heroes, which is nice, because I can use Mistbane to fill up my stack with items. Although I guess defeating all these mini enemy bosses will get me that as well. But all right, I will get these for the gunboat. I mean, I guess I can just do all of these, right? And see how things kind of go, and hopefully get some good attacks set up for later. That's great. Oh, that is actually fantastic. The red is fine because you can't get any better thanks to their boss. All right, let's do a second roll for these, and a third roll, whatever, because I can already kill the guy, right? Okay, so that'll tank his 1 free hit, and we can do that. So yeah, he attacks before I can fire at him, and then I'm definitely going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, save my awesome crits for somebody much nastier. All right, I get his item to swap enemies. Who cares? I only get 3 dice back. That's actually pretty dang rough, isn't it? I mean, yeah, that's bad. Oh no, I get 4 dice back. And did I get 4 dice back last time? I don't know if I did, but that's okay. We'll just get 4 right now. All right, Grafted Daiwin is next, and he's fine. And yeah, I think it's probably all mini-bosses, but I will cycle them just in case. All right, so we'll do... I'm actually not going to do the red, because it can't be a crit, so who cares? I will roll all of these, though, and hopefully not have to use too many of my greens. So this is 1. Nope. Just looking for crits here. 2. Yes. Awesome. Actually, let's put on the furthest back one. And what the hey, 3. Okay. All right, so I guess I'll do... I wish that had been a hit. I wish I'd used the red. A lot of things I wish I had done. I guess I'll do like that. All right, so I draw 4 cards from Market Stack and keep 2. The climbing gear is actually helpful. That's one that lets me swap dice from my exhausted and ready pool of different colors. And then... I don't know, Toxic Fumes are kind of nice for auto damage. I'm up to 6 health. Not that that part really matters. And I guess I'll exhaust that. I'll keep those for now. That's fine. Then I get 4 back. I need green, purple, another green, and blue, I guess. All right, I will cycle. Craft. Okay, it's definitely all bosses at this point. So he comes out. He can't put him underneath. In the exhaust dice step, all dice applied to this enemy are exhausted. Oh, so he just literally can't keep damage from round to round. That is pretty annoying, but I don't think it really matters much here. I think I'm rolling all of these, right? And just seeing how things go. Okay, the red's fine. We're going to go for crits. I really wish I'd gotten to 4 strategy. 2. Okay. Let's go 1 more, see what happens. 3. Oh, that was better. Okay, so boom and boom. What was this? Oh, there. I forgot that lets me reroll stuff. And there. Okay, should I reroll the green? I mean, it's kind of doing nothing for me as a hit here, isn't it? Well, no, it never mind. It's okay. So 1, boom, boom, right? That's fine. All right, so I get more health, which doesn't matter. I get more market cards, but I can't hold anything. I guess I got to discard. Oh, no, I'll discard the stupid Joust to make room. And then I can have a Hive, and I'll discard the Rebuilt Ruins without having enough room for it. All right, these go away, and get my red back. Oh, sorry, I'll exhaust that too. Get a green back. get a blue back, get a purple back. All right, Grafted Rhyme. If he would reduce my health, instead he takes away my other statistics. Well, it doesn't matter. All right, let's roll all of these. I just want to roll well enough to not have to use my crit on the back. Oh, that was fantastic. That's good enough. Second. Let's go for it. Third. Okay. How much did you need? 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Didn't have to touch those. That's nice. And I get the hive and discard it. So there's nothing left in my market. It's weird with all these mini heroes or enemies. I've never played where I have all 3 extra bosses. But as kind of expected, it's not really affecting things that much. Although I am really low on dice. That part's definitely true. I'll get the same 4 from before. All right, and Grafted Darb comes out, which means she is now the only card in the stack. And when she comes in, I'll exhaust all dice currently applied to enemies, and every enemy will have +2 health. So I definitely want to kill this guy before that happens. Oh, and he deals damage before the Spire's fire phase. Oh, interesting. Might actually lose something here. All right, I'll put that down. That's my first one. And second, I'll put that down, but I'll go for these one more time. Third, oh, beauty. Oh, I guess I don't need to do that, do I? Well, hold on. It might be better. So 5. So let's use all the non-crits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh, that's right. Hold on. He is attacking first. Oh, which means what's gonna happen here? I mean, it's kind of too late. I should have used the Shadow Skiff's ability to load a blue and a yellow from the exhausted pile. Would have totally tanked his damage. Would have been very easy to defeat him. But I didn't think about it, so he's actually blowing up both of these. This is going to make the ending slightly more exciting, right? Because now I got to use these big boys to actually kill him so he doesn't get boosted by the boss and healed. All right, so the boss has 10 life. Unfortunately, I can't Toxic Fume them. That one is wasted. Because it's after each activation, I would get to apply a free hit to him. All right, so let's see if we can do 10 damage. I'm going to certainly put out my hive. Oh, hold on. I just realized, let's use Mistbane. I'm not clearly getting anything from the market stack, but that will slow him down from spawning for 1 turn. That'll let me put in the Toxic Fumes and the hive. And, I would have gotten to get 4 at the end of the previous turn. So let's do that. And then I would get 4 at the end of this turn when Mistbane goes away instead of him spawning. Yeah, because that's just good business right there. Should be able to kill this guy pretty easily now. All right, so now he activates, and I get to do a free hit to him. When he activates, he exhausts all dice currently applied, which is none, then after the activation. And he's got 10 life from his own boost. Okay, and I do have Oak Jab to cancel damage if I want. What the heck? Well, that was already good. Oh, shoot. Oh, I can put it on the hive. The hive can take anything. Nice. But yes, so that's already... is he going to die in 2 seconds? He's probably going to die in 2 seconds, isn't he? Here, take a hit, you guy. I don't even know how I rolled some of these dice. Hold on. These 1 second roll again. All right, 2... Oh my gosh. All right. And here, leader, you can have that. And 3, whatever. All right, so that's 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. His gunboats are overpowered. Yeah. All right. Well, I won on the highest difficulty, which I sort of expected to, but I was kind of hoping I wouldn't. That 1 turn made it a bit of a close call. But that is 20 strong Cloudspire. So what do I like? What am I not sure about? And how does it compare to Tanglewood's Roads, which is also a 20 strong tower defense game? I love so much about this. I love that you are limited in the dice you can use, that the spires become the means by which you attack. I think that is so cool. And I like that it really hypes up strategy. Recovery is still important too, as you saw, especially for a guy like him who starts with only 1. But because you have so few dice, strategy becomes an incredibly important stat because you can have more chances to roll those big crits that are going to get enemies defeated faster with your very limited amount of spots to attack them from. So I think that's great. I like the strategy of the mini heroes. I love the variety in that you have just so many cards and every single one can be on your side or not. You have 3 factions every game and you're against 3 factions every game, which drastically changes. Not a ton. The enemies all have the same rewards, as I said, but it at least changes, kind of how their special powers work out and that kind of stuff. And certainly your items and spires change how you work. So I think this is one of the most varied 20 strong sets. I think it's exciting. I think it slightly overstayed its welcome with the extra heroes, but I will say without them, the game tends to play for me in a consistent 30 to 45 minutes. And it didn't feel quite as grindy as Tanglewood's Rose, although it does have a little bit of that. So I did really enjoy this. The big negative, and you saw it, is that you get into states where, unless you roll horribly, like, sometimes I was rolling more crits than average. Sometimes, like that one turn, I rolled nothing. But, like, mostly I was rolling kind of average. And I've played this game a ton, and again, I've never lost. I just played on the highest difficulty setting. Usually the highest difficulty settings for 20 Strong games are a joke. Like, how could you ever possibly beat this? Like, they just threw it in for giggles. This was the highest difficulty setting, and all it was a few extra mini enemies. Like, really what they needed to do was take away, like, some of my spires, make the lanes shorter. I don't know. I'm not sure if that would be fun, but it's weird that this one's highest difficulty is very beatable. Yes, I had the gunboats, but that's the thing. See, almost every faction has stuff that makes the game seem a bit more trivial. And with that, banish a die to dig for them. Once you learn that, you can get that. Because there are a lot of factions, like the heirs have this, there are a lot of factions that have spires that can attack when people aren't next to them. That just changes the entire calculus of the damage dealing. There's factions like the Grove Tenders that give you consistent recovery really easily. That's huge. So I haven't, like, the only time that this game was a little bit hairy at moments, but the only time that I've found that the game truly could be tough, and I haven't even, like, tried doing this yet, is if I specifically try to find, like, the 3 factions out of all 9 that don't have busted stuff like gunboats, that don't have ways to attack. Like, some of the heroes just can shoot from anywhere and can help do tons of damage. And the second you do that, like, enemies aren't surviving, because when enemies survive, y'all saw, that's when stuff is interesting. And it just doesn't happen very often. Like, they so rarely survive the one turn. Now, the plus thing I do love. I love this as both a call out to Cloudspire and how the stacks of chips work. I also love it as a strategic thing, because then you're going to get enemies in deeper parts of your setup, and you'll have to use different spires. But it just doesn't happen as often as one. Like, I wish there were more skulls on the people. So yeah, like if I was going to rank this one with my previous 20 Strong ranking video, I love so many things about it, but it's like just missing a little bit. And this is just, I hate to say it, I love Chip Theory as a company. This is a very consistent thing for 20 Strong. Because I feel like this is very close to being amazing. But I just think that it's not quite there. And hey, let me know if I'm playing rules wrong. Like, I read through the rulebook 50 freaking times, and I look back at the old 20 Strong rulebook to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong. But maybe I did something wrong. I guess I did, house rule that that one guy, which one was it? The Grove Tender unit was supposed to give me immediate recovery. I mean, I know I'm right about that. I know that's a misprint, but whatever. Maybe they'll say it's not. But yeah, it just feels like this is probably one of the coolest 20 Strongs I've seen, especially, like, I think it's cooler ideas than Rose. I think it's cooler than maybe all the Tanglewood sets. But it's just got some, like, weird parts, so it's hard for me to 100% recommend it. Unless you handicap yourself by, again, like, taking away some of these really cool spires, or like not using them on purpose. Like, if I didn't use gunboats, this would have been a way harder mission, and that'd be cool, I guess. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixed recommend here. I do think the mechanics are great. It's just got some issues, like I said, but still a fun time. That's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. And a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. Willie MF, Steve Wren, Miles, KCW, Andrew R., and Chris C. We'll see you at the next stop.